Hi, what's up? I'm actually sad to be making this video. Played quite a bit of Onrush closed beta, and it definitely first impression, like right off the bat after the first track or two. I think after the first, I gave it another try after the first track, but like right away I was just like, this is not as fun as it looked. And it sucks to say that. First, before I get into this, I want to say that I do love the concept. I think the idea is great. I think a lot of the stuff that they do is really cool. But it, for me, it doesn't work. It's really weird because it it's a game made me think of a tagline for the game: all style and no gas. It just it's overall boring. Uh, so here's why. Okay, it's I have a ton of notes, so let me just go over the notes. And this is stuff that I didn't notice while watching trailers. And even although after watching a few hours, I had watched tons of gameplay, there was a point where I had a small doubt, very small. I was thinking about it, and I was like, this kind of, it all looks exactly the same. Like all the stuff, all the gameplay I've been watching, the hours of live streams and stuff that's been uploaded, and it's just it all looks exactly the same now. It's stylish as all hell. It's beautiful. The style of it is great. I love it. It seems and looks fast paced, but it doesn't feel like it when I'm playing it. So it's a lot of stuff I couldn't tell before playing it. I was ready to pre-order this game, and now I'm not convinced not to get it, but I'm not sure I want it day one anymore. So the number one thing for me was for the two tracks. There's only two tracks available in the beta right now. Of course, more will be available in two game modes. First, I will say the tracks, for the most part, it's just drive straight with some jumps and ramps here and there, and some stuff to smash through. But I never felt like I was actually driving because there's no real need to control my car. It's just zoom straight forward for the most part with a couple turns, and that was really it. I did note it reminds me of Titanfall, and I had mentioned this before in a hype video where I was talking about it coming out and stuff, where it's fun to kill the bots, but when there are none around, it's pretty boring. And the same kind of a thing happens here. It's different. It's not the same as Titanfall, but it is. It just reminded me of it, where when there are no bots to take down near your vehicle and stuff, it's just this empty drive forward game. And then even when there are cars everywhere, like all over, the road is so big that it's not easy to engage in that vehicular smashing and driving racing kind of a thing, because they're all over. It's just this huge road. It's enormous even when you go on turns. The most I ever got engaged is when I'm caught up to the pack. This is an automatic game thing. If you're too far behind, the game will teleport you up to the front and get you back in action, which is kind of cool. I like that a lot. But what would often happen, that was when I felt the most engaged, when I was put back into the group. But what would happen was I like to play the motorcycle, so more often than not, I would be killed instantly from being teleported back into the pack. So maybe with some more play testing and feedback, maybe they'll notice that's happening more or something. I don't know. But or it's just me. I have really bad luck no matter what I do. So games are life. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. Anyways, yeah. So getting teleported. There's a kill cam, which sucks balls. They really need to fix that. I hope they do. The kill cam is terrible. Almost every time I watch a kill cam, it was nothing happened. And a lot of times, if I did get smashed, if you see the kill cam, the car would be like, it didn't even touch you in the kill cam. Like it drove next to you, and you got wrecked. And then other times where an opponent gets credit for you crashing on your own, like because they touched you in the last 5 seconds or so. That drove me nuts. I was like, what? Let's see. The weather doesn't feel dynamic. Now I'm hoping this might be a beta thing. I don't know. It might be a beta thing. Maybe it's a previous build or something. I remember, or it's just my misunderstanding, because I remember they were talking about it before, and the weather was talked about being dynamic. It might not be. It doesn't seem clearly dynamic right now. It seemed like, although I don't know, maybe the full launch will be different. Is what I'm hoping for. But it seemed more set. It seemed more like random, right? Instead of being dynamic throughout the rounds that you play, it just seemed more like that whole match is either gonna start with snow or without it, whatever. When I did see the snow, it was beautiful. I'm not sure if there are other weathers. I'm if I remember right, there's gonna be a day, night, and different weather. So we'll see. I don't know for sure. I forget. I think that's what they said though. No real sense of speed. I couldn't really, even watching gameplay, I thought it looked cool, but I remember there was a little tiny bit of doubt, but I always thought it looked exciting, because it does look exciting. It is super stylish. That's just an amazing thing about it. It's really stylish, but so I didn't feel like there was a sense of speed to it, the way the game plays out. Even in boost mode, when you get your superpower ability built up, boost mode just it sort of goes a little bit faster, but it just seems more like it's just pushing your car forward on the screen, and you're still going the same speed. That's how it feels. You do go a little faster, but it doesn't feel fast. Like normal speed or boost speed, it just feels really just not super slow, but it doesn't feel fast. It doesn't. I don't have the sensation of speed when I'm driving in the game. I just feel like I'm just kind of going. Well, it sucks. Oh yeah, it feels pointless driving the bike. No purpose to it. There's no clear advantage to any balance between playing the bike versus the other cars, other than I just feel like playing the motorcycle. I want to drive that car. But I didn't really feel like there was any purpose to picking a weaker vehicle that gets destroyed easily over picking something else. And another thing is that I had seen it on the Discord. They have a channel for the game and stuff, and I had seen other people talking about the controls of vehicles. They were different and stuff. I never really noticed a difference in the main. I could tell that cars control slightly different. That's how it felt. It felt like they controlled slightly differently, and the main reason for that is because it's mostly just driving straight. So there's no reason to have different controls on the different vehicles, because you don't really need to control yourself around, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Other people, I'm sure, would disagree. Let's see. I think I covered most of the points, and I wanted to tackle one specifically. Oh, and then I really noticed a lack of graphics while in photo mode. Here's the crazy thing, alright? Guys, it's pretty, but the vehicles got the most attention, which makes sense. It's a driving game. But especially entering photo mode for the 2 tracks in the beta, the levels were so bland, visually, like, and the atmosphere is nice. Like I guess the concept, the atmosphere is cool, but the actual detail in the environments is really weak. And that's kind of sad. But the detail in the vehicles is pretty cool, like the paint decals and the detail of the vehicles is awesome. The characters, not the best, but they're good enough. They're, especially for being not the focus. The drivers look fair. They're decent, but the vehicles got most of the attention, it seems, when it comes to graphical power and stuff and detail. The other maps might look better, but I don't know. So let me see. I had a couple. Let me see. Mike had a couple suggestions. Make it boost build faster and or add more fodder. And then I was thinking about this too, and that's got to be a tricky balance, because if you make boost build faster, it might have to. There's a whole balancing with the fodder and all that would need to be done. But it just part of that too is it didn't feel like you could build your special ability fast enough. I've played every vehicle in the beta. There's 4 of them, and that's another thing. Like I never really felt like their perks and whatever really mattered, and they do, but it just not in the sense where I cared. You know, I was just kind of like, well, I'm just playing. The special ability didn't build fast enough for me, and this is the cool thing is I think each vehicle, if I remember right, they have a special thing where you can kind of build it faster, but even then it felt like you could basically build up your meter once per round. So it was dragged out, so I hate that I'm sitting here saying so many things that I didn't like about it, but I can't believe it just shocked the crap out of me. I'm shocked at how bored I was. And I played this at least a few hours. I didn't count it. I could have the past couple of days. I got to level 20. Well, I think I'm level 26. I got to level 25, which is you get some cool skin bonuses and tag bonuses, or like player card art tags, I think. If you buy the game, you know, once it comes out, you get little special bonuses for getting a certain level in the beta, which is cool. I think that's really neat. So I'm not sure what to think anymore. Even we're too close to launch. It's you know, pretty much a month away. I can't imagine them doing like any major drastic changes. But I do the major complaints I have, which is the speed and the not building up boost. Those are easy fixes, I think, really easy fixes. Of course, there's balancing involved with that, but I think compared to like changing the tracks to not just being straightforward roads that you just pretty much just go straight the whole time. Also, the two game modes could barely tell the difference between them. They are different, the ideas are different, and it's cool. But they just didn't play different. Mostly because you're just, no matter what, you're always just driving straight forward with a couple turns, you know. That's just how I felt. That's damn, that sucks. I love the concept. I think the whole idea is special. That's why when I'd seen the trailers and I'd seen the gameplay, I was like, man, that looks amazing. Because the idea is there. It's all, you know, it just doesn't play the way it looks, to me anyways. Just doesn't play the way it looks. Definitely all style and no gas. Damn it, I just had an idea too. Oh well. Man, so those are beta impressions. Damn it. Oh yeah, I was thinking, I don't remember if some of these team members worked on Blur, but at this point, when you got all your tracks just straightforward, I would add more power-ups, maybe weapons of some sort, something to make it feel faster, because it's really slow to me. I know I'm pretty sure other people are loving it, but I don't know if they're just in the hype, right? Because that happens, you're in this mood where you're like, you know, but then the longer you play, the more it kind of, you're like, wait a second, this isn't as good as I thought it was at first, you know. And for me, I felt it right away. I was insanely hyped for this game, man. I could not wait, and now I'm just like, how did that happen? How does it feel so boring? Oh my gosh. Anyways, I am very sorry. Thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye bye.